So we've had time to take a look at this on your own, and those of you who chose to just compare answers, that's great. Let's talk about it. What form do these equations need to be in for you to know their slopes? Y equals mx plus b. What is that called? So let's see what we did for the first one. Don't try to fit your work right there. So 5x minus y equals 8. How am I going to solve this? Subtract 5x from both sides. So this one was actually pretty good on most. It's the second equation that was like, ooh, what happened? So my final equation, y equals 5x minus 8. Let's all make sure we're on the same page with how we graph that. What two pieces of information can you pull out of the first equation? What am I going to do to graph this? So b equals 8, negative 8, which is a big difference, guys, right? There's a huge difference between plotting a y-intercept all the way down here versus all the way up here. So negative 8 is where we're going to start. It's my starting point. How do I know how to count? What's my slope? So if it helps, some of you are doing a really nice job with arrows. So if I wanted to put arrows next to this, what does that mean? Which way? Up 5, right 1. So from my intercept at negative 8, I am going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. If you have your ID from before, take it out. Otherwise, where's your straight edge piece of paper? And I'm halfway there. This is one of my lines. My second equation says 5y equals negative x plus 35. Tell me what we need to do here. Minus 5? Divide by 5? I agree with the division. So let's divide by 5. Good job. Negative 1/5 x. Who put negative 5x? Don't do it again. Put a sad face and then fix it. And then you can erase the sad face and put a smiley face. Okay? Negative 1/5. This is one of the things I saw the most happen. Okay? This is not a negative 5. It gets me a negative 1/5. Because what invisible number, or not invisible, but unwritten number is in front of x? Is it 1? Negative 1. If we say it right, we'll write it right. Negative 1x. So if it helps, whenever you see that negative x, someone in a previous class said, well, miss, the way that I make sure I get this right is that when I see a negative, I make sure that I actually write negative 1. Because then I clearly see that I have a fraction, negative 1/5. What's my intercept going to be? Just looking at these equations, can we say, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Because that's number 2. What are our thoughts? Neither? Parallel? Well, let's talk parallel. For them to be parallel, what would have to be the case? Literally the exact same. Are these the exact same? No. So could they be perpendicular? Let's all sit up nice and tall. Sit up, sit up. I know it was a little hot. I just turned the air on. Lucas, up. Thank you. Emmanuel, thank you. For these to be perpendicular, what 2 checks do we do? So let's check. What does opposite mean? One is positive, one's negative. Is that the case here? Yeah. Because this one is positive and this one is negative. So we could put a little check mark. Yes, they're opposites. What else has to be true? What does reciprocal mean? I like the first word you used. What did you say? The fraction is flipped. How would you write 5 as a fraction? Good. And so the reciprocal would be, and do we have that? Yes. So your job right now, graph this line carefully. We should have a relationship between those two lines that you could take the corner of your ID or your straight edge piece of paper, and it should fit in that corner. Once that happens, you know you're done with our warm-up. So what we're going to do for today, what 2 things are due today? Look here if you're not sure. These 2 are due. Once you have checked answers with a neighbor and you both agree, you're going to put this one on top and this one behind it, like so. Drop it off. I'm going to start a desk right here behind my read. Drop it off, add it to this pile, and then pick up today's workshop. And you can work by yourself or with a neighbor. This is due tomorrow. So the more you get done today, the less you have to do on your half day. Tomorrow we move on to our point slope refresher notes. Right? So graph that line to finish. Graph the second line. Check. Put your ID in the corner. It should fit. You keep that. Did you check with somebody yet? Thank you. Check with somebody, and then you are moving on to this workshop. When is this workshop due? Tomorrow. All right, let's get started.